He's from Serbia, Novak Djokovic. Novak is being accompanied by Yannick Topley, 8-year-old net generation superstar. Look at that happy kid.
It's not Stefan, but he is one happy camper.
From Switzerland, Roger Federer. Roger's being accompanied by 8-year-old Samantha Hancock, another one of our net generation superstars.
Well, he's got one of the youngsters in tow. He's got his family in tow, of course. 4 youngsters that he comes across the pond with here. We're led to believe they will be courtside as well today.
They might be here a little later. And as he said, 5 between him and Stan, but not quite.
Jeez. Certainly should be fresh. He's had the slightly, of course, easier pass through. He's also played 1 fewer match, hasn't he? You have to consider that. Of course, Djokovic not being seeded in the top 8 has had to play an additional match here as well.
Of course, that all adds up, doesn't it? Especially for Novak. Don't forget, Djokovic was playing last week in Canada as well. Lost to Stefanos Tsitsipas, if you remember correctly. So for him, it's been a busy 2 weeks. Federer only came to the party for the Cincy tournament as far as the US summer is concerned. So he should be feeling a lot fresher than Novak. And of course, given the match yesterday was a retirement against Goffin.
Gentlemen, good afternoon. You know our guest.
Mr. John Barrett, CEO and President of Western and Southern.
Novak. Right, so gentlemen, after the contest, you're going to do 1 picture here with everybody and 1 picture, just 2 of you behind there, okay? So we have the net unit. TV changeover, please. Okay, set challenge is going to help. 5 minutes warm up, 25 seconds between points. You have the clock each side of the court, okay? Any questions? No? Novak, your choice. WNS or Open Cincinnati? WNS. Open Cincinnati. Serve. Stay. Picture this side first, please. With you, both.
Well, I guess when you haven't lost serve in 4 years, you're probably going to start serving, aren't you?
No kidding. No kidding. Yes, not lost serve 97 times in a row here in Cincinnati. Oh, it's mind-boggling stuff.
We've not been short on mind-boggling numbers, have we, in the last couple of decades, with the elite of this sport breaking down barriers. Will today be another day when perhaps we see something a little special? It's been a laborious week for Djokovic. He's wanted to work so hard each and every round, 2 hours plus each and every round, getting longer and longer as well, and eventually able to break down Marin Cilic yesterday. He has been a little edgy, understandably so. And how much of that edginess this week is the additional pressure, Rob, of having 8 of the 9, and everyone this week talking about the possibility for him to rewrite history here? How much of that is an additional burden?
Yes, it's a burden, but it's also incredible hunger and desire to do it before Nadal and Federer, I think, because he's lived in their shadow for a long time. Let's be honest about that, and he wants to be accepted on the same level as them. And don't forget, he was a guy who held all 4 majors. They've never been able to do that. So I think, again, to do something and achieve something that neither Nadal or Federer has been able to do just yet, Nick, I think that to him confirms his position in the same conversation as Nadal and Fed. We know what an ambitious guy this is. There's a lot of other players that have played in this era of Nadal and Federer that have gone away and have decided they're too good and let them go about doing their thing. And I'll play second best, but that's never been his mentality, has it?
Not in the slightest. I look at Indian Wells, Miami. He'd probably rather not look at Indian Wells and Miami, of course, because that was a rough period of time, wasn't it? But each and every week, of course, culminating in the Wimbledon win, he seems to have got better. The level of tennis this week for you, assess it for us.
Yeah, it's been very solid, you know, beating
3 minutes.
Johnson in 2 hours. Match against Manarino started out very slow, another 2-hour encounter. Dimitrov had to dig deep. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. 2+ hours in every single match, finding a way to win. That is what the very best players do.
And interestingly enough, he's played the man on the other side of the net here in Cincinnati on 3 occasions, and he has failed to register a victory against Federer here in America's Midwest. The 37-year-old, of course, who has never, remember, lost a final here either.
That's incredible. He's never lost a semi either. That's how good he is when he gets to the tail end of this event. Oh, the feel-good factor is so nice and high. We know that when he steps out on the court here, he's almost impossible to break. 2018 has been another unbelievable season, and it could have even been better. You know, let's not forget he had the best start to a season that he's ever had this year, going 17-0. And of course, the match he lost to Juan Martín del Potro.
Had match points, of course.
Exactly, Nico. And then let's not mention the match he had against Kevin Anderson at Wimbledon in the quarterfinals. The Federer fans won't be happy with us, but what I'm trying to point out is how good the year could have been even further had he been able to win that Indian Wells final.
And let's not also forget he was 2 points away from Cincinnati Kokonakis. I appreciate that was in round 2, so that's a very different story, but he wasn't far away from winning there either. And had he have got himself into that tournament, who knows?
So what we're trying to say has been another stellar year for Federer. He's exchanged that top ranking with Nadal on a couple of occasions. This week he was too good for Gojovcik and Maya, but Stan Wawrinka, speaking of 2 points away, 6-all in that second set tiebreaker. Stan could see the finishing line, and I thought Stan played an excellent match. The best tennis you've seen him play this year?
I think so, without a doubt. And again, following on from last week where he was equally impressive, wasn't he? And that bodes well, obviously, for the Swiss as he looks to make his way back up the world rankings. The head-to-head, as we mentioned, there have been plenty of meetings. Meeting number 46. Why particularly here in Cincinnati do you think that Federer has got him on those 3 occasions? Is there anything to do with the conditions that might just be a little different, or is it just one of those things?
It is the biggest anomaly for me when I have a look at all of those numbers. And you can see the head-to-head on a hard court, they're locked up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this
last time
will be best of 3 tiebreak sets.
These guys played in the Australian Open, it was Novak who got him. But how is it possible that Novak has such an incredible record on a hard court? He's so good at the tail end of these big events, yet in 5 trips to the finals here, let alone winning a final, Nick, he hasn't won a set. It's inexplicable to me.
And the warm-up.
It's the final of the Western and Southern Open here in Cincinnati, and it is another opportunity for Novak Djokovic to rewrite the tennis history books. No player, remember, in singles has won all nine of the Masters 1000s. Danny Nestor has done it in doubles, not to forget.
Take your seat, please, ladies and gentlemen.
But in singles, it has yet to be achieved. Masters Series, Super 9s, Masters 1000s. Could today be the day?
Ready.
Federer to begin. Nick Lester and Robbie Koenig here with you.
Tyson V. I love that. Might be old-fashioned for some, but old school is very back in fashion these days, I'll tell you that much.
Going to do it again there as well.
That's a shot we're going to have to keep our eye on today. Federer's admitted the forehand hasn't been firing as he would like. The numbers attest to that. Lots of unforced errors against Stan, against Goffin. His serve has been phenomenal once again this week. He's hitting a spot so well. But the matchup today is against probably the best returner our sport has ever seen. So that's going to be a fascinating battle within this overall war.
Oh, he's gone away by him. And what a brilliant exchange.
13-14.
Or from way downtown here. Novak stretching Roger out, asking tough questions. And guess what? Break point already.
David Ferrer, the last player to break Federer, excuse me, here in Cincinnati.
Second set of the 2014 final. That was, Nick.
Advantage.
And what's interesting as well in the 3 matchups here, Djokovic has only broken Federer once in the 6 sets they've played.
Vida, Novak's coach, of course.
Advantage Djokovic.
Once again, looking to serve and volley, looking to put a bit of pressure on.
Almost didn't expect such a weak return. It's amazing. This guy's accuracy on his serve, it's a joke actually. It's been so good throughout the course of his career. He's given his opponents a staple diet of that accuracy. It's not the biggest. You will see very few serves today over 125 miles per hour from Roger.
Some opening game. It's Federer that survives it eventually.
First game.
Nick, we have to bring up the serve again. We highlighted it yesterday, but this is how he has been in Cincinnati 2018. The accuracy. Look at all the unreturned serves. He gets so many free points off the serve. You know, 50% going down the middle on the juice, 60% when he goes out wide. But today he's up against the best returner in the game, a guy who gets unbelievable length when returning, and you can see how often he's able to get balls nice and deep into those two zones at the back of the court. And that is going to be the major battle within the overall war, because when Novak does return deep, that's when it's tough to hold serve. And we know he can do it with great regularity. And of course, the first game is testimony to that.
18-11.
He's won a Masters 1000 on a hard court in 2 years. That's Djokovic, Canada 2016. Last time he won on this surface at this level. Certainly clearly come out here to take the attack to Djokovic. Of that, there's no doubt. And no surprise. Look at the new south stand, of course, that was finished just prior to this event.
$26 million building. We're right at the top there where there's a big, tall glass panels are.
Mr. Federer is showing a call on the left baseline. The ball was called in. Sorry, Sebastian.
Linesman missed that one.
18-11.
Decent space between the ball and the line.
Because I often feel on that line, and actually sitting on that line yesterday, there's actually a little bit more pressure on that linesman to make that call quicker, because Federer holds such a strong position. He's almost standing on the baseline anyway, so it's not like you've got to go sort of mid-swing. That linesman can't look very long at that line before Federer is actually going to hit the ball. A couple of times on that line yesterday there were some mistakes, and I think some of it has to do with actually Federer's position.
I thought you were going to say there's pressure on that lines person, because Tom Barnes is sitting behind them, head of officiating.
Well, that as well.
So there's Severin Lutu. We saw him giving Roger a little pep talk before today's final. Found a quiet spot in the players' dining area, going through the match tactics.
Oh, what a brilliant finish. And the backhand up the line was struck so purely. It's a fine start.
Federer leads 2-1.
On serve through the opening 3 games. 2-1 it is.
Federer's signature play there, taking the ball on the rise, and of course he's got the skill set to finish at the net. While he stays up on the serve, doesn't fall over. Wonderful hand-eye coordination to execute. Boom, he knows he's got Djokovic in trouble. Come in, take time away from him. Playing against one of the best defenders in the sport, so have to be able to finish points at the net. So we'll keep an eye on that. Net points won today. He's already been in 4 times as Federer. He's won 2 of them.
Of all the matchups we've enjoyed over the years, the big 4, the big 5, is it fair to say this is one that just has a little bit more edge? I'm not saying respect's not there. No, it's nothing to do with respect, but is it one that just has a little bit more spice to it, this one?
Definitely. We've seen it over the years. Remember that one incident in Monte Carlo when Federer made a comment to the Djokovic camp about Novak's father shouting out about a call. Difficult to be best friends when you're competing for the biggest titles anyway. A bit of edge. Jimmy Connors always bought it. He had it with John McEnroe, didn't he? And Ivan Lednall had it with Mac too. You know, Sampras and Agassi were very different characters. And they both wanted to win so badly against one another.
Not good enough with the back end up the line, did he, on that particular occasion? He is striking the forehand with a good degree of authority already.
Of course, Nick, these guys will be on the same team for the Laver Cup in a couple of weeks' time. Team Europe, we've got Novak, Zverev, Dimitrov, and of course David Goffin. Still waiting for one more though. We saw Nadal and Federer on the same team for the first time last year, and it went down really well in Prague.
That's it.
Federer will be disappointed there. He was well in that rally. 7-4 Steris, a 5th from his forehand side.
Brought back into the fold, of course. Marion having had a year plus away. Different personalities and of course different opinions. Both this week have been sharing their views on the state of the sport, haven't they?
Yeah, whether they should play more 5-set matches in these big finals. Of course, Federer was pro playing a 5-set final in the Masters 1000 events. The likes of Murray, Djokovic weren't, were they?
No wonder he looks a little bemused by that miss. Such a good camera angle just to see that rally unfold, wasn't it?
And you can see how they spread one another wide, don't they? The height over the net they create.
Federer's first serve percentage just a little subpar so far.
Well, it really has been a go-to play for Roger this week. He's come in a fair bit, perhaps not feeling as comfortable from the back of the court as he would like. Again, not pressing the approach. Understand he might need a two-shot combination.
Difficulties in his opening service game, but the subsequent two have been relatively simple. And that is hold of serve number 100 in a row here in Cincinnati. The century's up. Federer leads 3-2.
Can't raise your bat, son.
Best serve under pressure the game's ever seen. I know Pete was obviously in that conversation, but under pressure has been the best serve in the game.
I mean, the numbers would have to say so, right? Of course, your ability to hold serve also means that ability to back it up when the ball does come back to you, and they both did that so well. But I think Federer off the ground with that first shot, probably a little bit better than Pete. The fact that he's been able to win on different surfaces as well, and you've got to give him the edge. But they were so clutch in finals, aren't they? Both of them.
Event, of course, it does so much as well for a number of charities and non-profit organizations around Cincinnati. Cincinnati Children's Hospital benefits greatly from this week. Tennis for Inner City Kids Foundation as well have received a lot of financial help over the years. Certainly an event that gives back to its wider community. Sold-out stadium, 12,000 people eagerly wondering, can this man complete the set?
Interesting when we have a look at the matchups we mentioned. This is the 46th between Djokovic and Federer. It's not the most. That one is actually belongs to Djokovic and Nadal. Novak leading that one 27-25. So that's 52 meetings between those two. Federer and Nadal met on 38 occasions. Rafa ahead in that matchup. So 52, 46 and 38 as far as those big three matchups are concerned. And of course, this man in your picture has got a winning head-to-head record in both of his against Nadal and Federer.
big second serves to round out that game from Djokovic, who has only lost the 2 points so far in his three opening service games.
Well, that's 12 points in a row now for Roger, since he was a break point down against Novak. That streak ends at 12.
One of the rallies he was able to actually take control of, actually get a grip of.
He's the boss of the tournament, title sponsor, man. Some money helps this event take place.
Let
John Barrett, Western and Southern.
Federer is not convinced.
15-13.
For a bit of confirmation, I think.
Once again, the accuracy is incredible. Just 117-mile-an-hour serve, but placed with precision.
He's done well, Federer. As Djokovic was working him over with good length.
14-13.
A surprising error in the end. Let's remember the last game with the old balls as well. Always a significant one. I feel the returner has just a little more time. Time was something Federer didn't have a whole lot of there. I think that was a clean catch by that gentleman. Good to know there's an Englishman in the crowd.
Easy.
Advantage, Federer.
Federer at nearly 70% of first serves unreturned so far.
Yes.
It's a first double. It's another break point. He's missed it, and it's the defense of Djokovic that prevails. The first break goes the way of the Serb. 4-3, he's in front.
Djokovic leads 4 games to 3. Convalescent of developability warning, Mr. Federer.
Well, that doesn't happen too often.
Clearly unhappy after getting broken for the first time in 100 holes. Not sure if this has just caught the line and skidded on him, but this shot right here was phenomenal. Great depth, still a lot of work to do. Yeah, and perhaps just caught a bit of the paint. Of course, with Federer's attacking nature, you can see he's unhappy with that one skidding off the line, but huge props to the defensive skills of this guy, because it all started actually with the return of serve, where he got it into that deep zone, that back third of the court, like we highlighted to you in the graphic earlier.
Frustrations for the 37-year-old. Will we see Novak at 37 still out here, in your opinion?
Oh, it's a good question, Nick. I mean, he's got the kind of body that lends itself to it. Ability to be so flexible, and I'm sure in the years to come he will try and schedule himself like Nadal and Federer have been doing it the last 2 years. He's sensible about that. Hopefully stay injury free. That's always the killer, isn't it? Not easy to do. Let's hope we can see these guys as long as possible. That's all I'll say, because we've been so blessed to be part of this generation of amazing tennis.
Agassi certainly thinks so, listening to him earlier in the year. Obviously that was a partnership that didn't last very long, but Federer is definitely a little uptight right now.
Gone for that serve a lot today, hasn't he? To the forehand of Federer on the ad court with some extra pop on the second. Average second serve speed today, 101 miles an hour. That last one was at 110.
Yeah, just to give you an idea as well, this week Djokovic's average second serve speed's been 93 miles an hour, so he's almost up 10 today. Definitely going for it a little more.
He's mixed things up beautifully, hasn't he? He's been using that wide serve on the juice court a lot, Nick, almost 60% of the time, first and second. He's just changing things up enough.
Serbians are certainly making themselves heard. There's a small group of them. They are loud and proud so far.
The fan there might have had something untoward to say to Roger, and he just called him out.
close to where Severin Luthi and the team are as well down there. It's one way to silence them.
15-11.
That's a stand and deliver shot from Roger. Severin's just looking around as to who the guilty party is.
Oh, what a forehand that was.
30-15.
Well, he's torched that one, hasn't he? But then I love the change of pace on the final shot. Didn't overplay that one, just loaded it with spin. Good squeeze there from Roger, closing the net down.
So it's a good hold, but it's Djokovic that will serve to win a set in a final here in Cincinnati for the very first time at 5-4. Tony Godsick.
Super agents, and of course, happy birthday to Mary Jo Fernandez today. "47 years old is MJ. 1971 vintage. It's a very good one.
Tony Godsick, Federer's long time agent.
Yeah, the super agent now after inking at a $300 million deal with Uniqlo.
Yeah, they're expanding the stable, aren't they, as well? Signing a couple of youngsters, Coco Golf, I think they've got now.
Yep.
That's for the future. This is for the now.
Server has always been in the ascendancy in the set so far. First time anybody's lost the opening point on serve. That is vintage Djokovic. He spreads the court with that shot. Even though it's a slow shot, he's still got Roger on the move. And then that is a shot that is forged in steel.
It's been impressive, isn't it?
14-15.
He's held sway on the serve. Just 3 points the entire set. 4 points, excuse me, the entire set he's given up of his own deal. Here are 2 set points. Djokovic is 1 set away from winning the title in Cincinnati for the first time, but more significantly, he's 1 set away from completing the set of Masters 1000s. 6-4.
So, quick look at the numbers. Novak's kept it tighter than a taxman's purse there. The unforced errors and the winners on a par. Federer, a few too many unforced errors. As you can see, it's the forehand again that's leaked for Roger. Out of the total of 17, 9 of those coming off his forehand side. Yes, he is going for that shot a lot, but it's just been out of kilter this week. Hasn't quite found his range on it. Second serve speed of Djokovic has been very good. He's gone for that slider down the middle on the ad side on a fair few occasions and pulled it off. It's Djokovic the one who's been creating the break point opportunities. 3 you can see, and of course he eventually did break Federer in that 7th game. That put an end to the 100-hole streak here in Cincinnati for Federer. And it's Djokovic after 37 minutes who has won the opening set.
Second set.
So set number 2 here in America's Midwest. Djokovic a little closer to a little bit more history. And the good news is that the 17 times that he's won the opening set against Federer,
Yep.
he's won 16 of the 17 matches.
Love 13.
Of course, that lone loss was
Dubai, 2014.
13-30.
Perfect example of understanding patterns of play. Inside out approach. Guys are going to go cross court more often than not. Federer's looking, gives him time on the volley. Easy peasy.
14, that's it.
Although, as Federer said in Indian Wells so pertinently this year, you guys think I make it look so easy. It's really not.
Yes.
I always like to quote Leonardo da Vinci when you bring up comments like that, because he said simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Anybody who's awesome at their craft just makes things look easy, don't they? We both know how hard these guys work off the court. Federer with Pierre Paganini as his fitness trainer, of course. Novak and Gebhard Phil-Gritsch, who's sitting courtside, have been a very strong team for a number of years.
And he doesn't give much away, does he, in terms of what he's doing off the court? But you can be sure that he looks after the finer details. Because at the age of 37, he is still doing things at this age that quite simply have not been done before. I think really Jimmy Connors, wasn't it, was the guy at this age who was still producing at this level, not with the consistency that Federer was, Robbie.
Yeah, I have to go back and check the record books, but I don't know how old Jimmy was when he won his final Grand Slam. I do know that Federer became the oldest world #1 in the 45-year history of the rankings at 36 years of age in February this year. And of course, that record would have been broken when he became #1 again. Later on in the year, him and Nadal have been flip-flopping back and forward, so you can add a few more weeks onto that record.
Yeah, Jimmy's last major, incidentally, that he won in singles in his career was the 1983 US Open. Which, at the time, I think I'm right in saying he was 31.
Puts things into perspective very quickly, doesn't it, what these guys are achieving, Nadal and Federer. Especially this guy winning a fair few majors in his mid to late 30s.
Jimmy played into his 40s, didn't he?
14, 15.
It's one of the records that Federer is still chasing. There's the Open era title leaders that Jimmy has of 109.
Too far away in match wins now either, is he? I want to say it's about 90 or 91 after this week. That was a good little move forwards. Not a particularly expected one.
14, 13.
It's forced Djokovic to take it on.
off the ball movement just to put some pressure on the backhand. Not allowing Djokovic to float that one deep.
Second time in a row that he has applied that pressure and produced the error. The decibel level so slightly.
Please.
Turned up a notch.
Please.
Well, it's taken 3/4 of an hour and some. But it's Federer's first look at a break point here. A very costly double fault that could prove to be. And Djokovic is broken for the first time.
What I think that highlights, Nick, is just the importance of going for your shots. Because when he was going for those second serves down the middle, he was making them, and he was making them with good effect. That's a good lesson to any youngsters out there. When you get tentative, that's what happens. That second serve just 81 miles an hour. And 30 love up in that game, so
Lovely feet.
I always believe that if you are going to lose, whether it's a point or a match, just go down swinging, go for it. I think you'll end up winning more than you lose.
Defense. We shouldn't be surprised anymore, should we?
No. I mean, even by his standards, this is simply stunning. Such a well weight. What a smash! Right in the block hole of Federer.
Is he going to respond quickly here?
That served well.
15.
Shadow just starting to come halfway across the court now. It's actually a pretty good shadow because you're either in it or out of it. Makes it easy to watch the ball. Interesting there, Federer peppering Novak's forehand. Saw the odd miss hit and thought, I must go right back at it.
Took the backhand exceptionally early once again, didn't he? It was unfortunate.
Done everything right. Even though the net cord sold him down the river, he faked line, covered the cross. 80% of the easy shots go cross court, fakes the line, and he's waiting for it, but too hot to handle. But he knows he should have.
Break back point. setting up very nicely here, isn't it?
Guess where it starts, Nick? That serve so accurate. Gets to hit the first shot with the forehand.
Advantage, Djokovic.
Just a second double. And he's pushed it wide. Some return, you have to give credit to Djokovic for at least making a play. And Federer is broken back in double quick time, 2-1.
He'll be fuming. So well to get the break. He didn't have many looks in at break points. And when he did, he made it count. His ability just to put another ball back in play is what makes Novak Djokovic such a tough competitor.
It was the nature of the return, wasn't it, as well? I mean, it's a ball that Federer probably makes 8 times out of 10, but the nature of the return was such, it was always kind of cutting in towards Federer, wasn't it, as well? So the spin is kind of taking it that way, so it can be just at times easy to pull it wide. I mean,
and I guess there you had to be a little more conservative. You don't want to respect the return because you're so desperate to win the points.
Yep.
You want the easy put away because it's been such a good serve, but low, easy.
So a couple of breaks in succession here to really ignite this second set. Serbian fans up in the top corner of the stand, they've really have made themselves known.
Time.
Passionate group, those Serbs, aren't they?
They certainly are. Yeah, I love their man. Always very vocal, fanatical in their support.
Nick Lester and Robbie Koenig here with you courtside in Cincinnati. All paths, of course, lead to New York. Djokovic.
Some violation warning, Mr. Djokovic.
Oh.
When I call time, when you stand up, I press the clock, and you have 30 seconds to get ready.
Never do that. Everybody waits for several seconds for us to leave the towel, take the balls, and then...
When you stand up, we press the clock. Both of you.
How do you see this one, Rob?
I thought the clock only started once they'd got off their chairs and got towards the baseline after the change of ends.
And I think that was Novak's question. Not sure what Federer is asking here.
I think Federer was asking him if it's a first serve or a loss of a serve, but it's only a warning, so first serve, here we go.
This is a shot clock in its infancy, a serve clock, excuse me, in its infancy. We've only been on the main tour 3 weeks now.
Good bounce back ability from Novak.
30-11. 40 love.
That's a great game, all things considered. Because he feels hard done by. Does he have a reason to be hard done by there? As we understand it, Robbie, and certainly the case there was that Damien Dumassois started that clock when he said time, in his words.
Yes. I thought it was only going to be started once the players were walking back to the baseline and were in the baseline region.
Which would seem to make more sense.
That's certainly how it works at the end of the warm-up.
What a second volley. As he was asked a very stern question by the Djokovic boss.
When they say a certain volley has become unfashionable, like pleated slacks or rollerblades and gluten, I don't believe it. That is fun to watch. Oh, that is a howitzer.
30-15.
Straight nitro there from Novak.
A little nod from Federer.
Good play. I like it. I'm not sure which way to go. Just go right at the gun. Of course, you as the net player, you're often looking to go one way or the other, and that can surprise you.
Unable to land the two-hander. So it's Federer that leads again here.
Leads 3 games to 2.
A couple of early breaks. We're on serve at 3-2 in the second.
This was a change of ends incident. So he scored time. There's the clock. It started straight away. Both players are still sitting down. Top. No, he did start it at 30. Top right of your screen there. So I thought it would start now, the 25 seconds. So he doesn't have a lot of time. It's ticking down. He hasn't seen it. Could have hurried up there.
Time violation warning, Mr. Djokovic.
So that was it.
Time.
Well, as was explained to us earlier in the week, nothing has really changed. It's just purely a case of being a little more visible in terms of the actual rule. Djokovic noticeably out earlier there. Damien Dumassois actually stopping the clock on that occasion.
15-11.
Pressure. Federer.
His lofty standards, this is an easy forehand. Shouldn't be missing it in the net.
Spoke to a couple of fans outside the hotel this morning. They've driven all the way from Atlanta. They left Friday afternoon. He said he was checking the scores. Massive Federer fan. He said he was checking the scores. Friday night, he only got tickets to see Federer. He said he couldn't believe it when he was a set down Friday night. He said he thought about turning around.
Good story.
No need to turn around.
New balls, please.
I suspect wherever he is, he's sweating a little bit right now.
3 games on.
Of course, as years pass by now, everybody's wondering how much longer Roger will play for, so it's almost a worldwide revolution of trying to get to any event that he's at, in case it might be the last time they see him play, and for some, the first and only. Get the feeling that Novak and Rafa are going to be around for a few more years yet.
As much as we like to tell ourselves that age is just a number, at some point, numbers don't lie.
Liquid whip of a forehand.
14-11.
What a forehand this is. Good night.
To catch him out with the body serve here, something he doesn't do that often. Didn't get the desired result. got ugly. And it all started with the serve and volley, didn't it? At 40 love.
What a defensive lob, but yet again the forehand is leaking. An error.
Please.
Such a good first volley. Just kind of stopped Djokovic in his tracks, didn't it?
Advantage, Federer.
7 of 12 points won at net in this set for Federer. See how hard these guys are hitting the ball. End of his range. It is coming out of the dead center of his racket. Great dynamic balance to pull off shots like that.
Being asked some tough pickups, isn't he? That was a good one.
Oh, wasn't it just? I mean, Stefan Edberg right now is giving Federer a round of applause for that kind of S&V.
Well, he has dominated the baseline points.
I mean, he spreads the court so well.
34 baseline points he's won to just the 17 of Federer. Of course, you have to remember, Federer's been in a fair bit as well.
Probably that's one of the reasons that Federer's encouraged to serve and volley, Nick. He's feeling the heat from the back of the court.
Some class, some game. And Djokovic takes another major stride towards winning the last of the Masters 1000s missing from his CV.
Not making enough first serves, but that approach there too central. Don't forget he was 40 love up this game, so that's doubly worse. But I would have preferred the slice approach shot there, because this one sits up beautifully. Look at that for Novak. He's not going to miss out. You give him time on a passing shot, he will hit it on a dime. At least if you are central and you've hit a good knifing slice, it's going to stay low. It's tougher to make that pass.
A couple of holds away from doing something that no player has been able to achieve in this great sport.
A vital break in the 7th game of the opening set, Nick. That's all that separated them, and another very important break here in this set, 7th game.
Had a career, Federer, had of taking time away from opponents, hasn't he? Of taking the ball early, of taking rhythm away from players. Is there any element today of he just being a level, maybe just 1 or 2% over-aggressive, Robbie? I know it's a fine line for him because that's what's won him 7 titles here, isn't it?
Yep.
Ultimately. Obviously, the opposition has a lot to do with it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think Novak is the one guy who can make you play that extra ball. And then, of course, his movement is intimidating. Just like on that break point when Federer dragged the forehand wide. And first of all, that return doesn't come back against just about every other player.
That's it.
Cut it either. An errant drop shot puts Djokovic a game away.
Djokovic leads 5 games to 3. Thank you. Love 15. Please.
Things are getting out of hand here for Federer very quickly.
Love 30.
The arrows are coming thick and fast.
14-13.
Djokovic step up to the line one more time. Just force him to serve it out.
Correction is good, 30-all.
Yep, Djokovic acknowledges it straight away. No need for Federer to challenge it.
Wasn't far away. He's been able to pick that wide serve impressively in this match.
Advantage, Federer. Game, Federer.
Well, he was firmly under the pump in that game. And he survives for now. He must, though, break the Djokovic serve to stay in this final.
To ponder for Federer, his last chance to learn now. Perhaps a bit of justice if he were able to win this in straight sets, considering all the previous finals that he's played, and he's lost in straight sets. Nick, 5 of those, he certainly has paid his dues.
Novak Djokovic won Miami in 2007, Canada the same year, Indian Wells in 08 for the first time. He added Rome that year as well. 2009 he won in Paris-Bercy, Madrid in 2011 for the first time, Shanghai a year later, and then in 2013 he won in Monte Carlo. Until now, there has been one piece of the puzzle missing. He is serving for the title.
Big first point.
15-11.
This aggressive second serve. That's the way you want to play under pressure, not the slow double that he hits. It's a loose serve in the second game. That is simply too good.
15-0.
Federer has rifled this one past him. And a frozen rope of a backhand. Sets, rips.
Just a 4th backhand winner for Federer of the day.
30-15.
He has annihilated that one. I'm not sure it was the cleanest four he's ever hit, but it could be an important one.
This has left a vapor trail. Boomski! Thanks for coming. 95-mile-an-hour ripper.
Quite simply, he's suffocated him for length, time and time again. And here is championship point. History is made in Cincinnati. Novak Djokovic becomes the first man in singles to capture all 9 Masters 1000 titles. It's the Golden Masters, sealed in America's Midwest. What an achievement for the Serbian superstar, who finally gets his hands on the trophy. He's a champion here today, beating Federer in straight sets, 4-4.
Minutes, and it's his nearest and dearest who have been through him the good times and the bad, and he celebrates with what an achievement. When you set the bar vertigo-inducing hard, it's tough to carry on, but these guys just seem to move on. They keep jumping over that bar. It'll be a tough one for Federer to swallow. But he hasn't been playing his best tennis this week, has he? The serve has really been the standout shot, but a little off with the forehand. The return has been hit and miss. In fact, just having a look at the second serves unreturned for Novak Djokovic, 72% were unreturned. So Federer not feeling it there on the second serve return, which is too much of a gift for somebody of Djokovic's standard. And when you couple the fact that Djokovic returns so well, we always felt that Federer's serve would be under a bit more pressure today than against anybody else that he had faced in the draw.
Where does this sit, Rob, in all his list of accomplishments? There's been plenty of them, but to win all 9?
It's right up there. It's, you know, behind holding all 4 majors at the same time. None of the others have been able to do that. Last time that happened was 1969 when Rod Laver won the calendar Grand Slam. Of course, winning all 4 majors would probably be ahead, and I think this sits 3rd on the ladder behind those 2, Nick. It just shows versatility, your ability to win on different surfaces throughout the course of the season. It's quite remarkable what he has been able to do. What these top three guys in the game have been able to do. You can see Federer's unforced errors, too many from the forehand again today. Now then Djokovic's second serve speed, it dropped as the match went on, but in the opening set he really went for that second serve and it held him in good stead. A very clean match today from Novak. His defensive skills were again there for all to see. He was the one who was creating a lot of break points, and in the end that was telling. Broke Federer right back after losing serve in the second game of that second set, and then thereafter it was pedal to the metal, and Djokovic finally gets his hands on the trophy here in Cincy.
Let's throw it down courtside to Andrew
the 2018 Western and Southern Open Championship Trophy presentation. With us on court, please join me in welcoming Vice Chairman and Chief Legal and Media Officer, ATP World Tour, Mark Young. Chairman and President of the USTA, Katrina Adams. Western and Southern Open Tournament Director and CEO, Andre Silva. Chairman, President, and CEO of Western and Southern Financial Group, John Barrett. Since 2002, the tournament has partnered with Western and Southern Financial Group to make this event one of the most prestigious tournaments in the world. And it couldn't be done without the support and passion from this man, John Barrett.
Thank you, Andrew. First of all, I'd like to thank the tournament director, all the people who work for you, and all the thousands of people who volunteer for you. This is fantastic, guys. We couldn't do it without you. Second, I'd like to thank all the fans, especially those from the greater Cincinnati. Thank you so much for your support. Despite the weather, you guys are here. We filled it up every day. How lucky are we all to be here? Now, we have two of the greatest tennis players in history playing right here on center court. And if I'm not mistaken, Novak, today, you become the first pro ever to win all the tournaments. Unbelievable. With that, I'm just going to digress for 1 second. We have a cheer in Cincinnati. And this should be for both of you. Can I have a hooday? How about a hooday? Thank you, guys.
Thank you, John. John's going to stay on stage here and get ready to hand some trophies out. I'd like to invite our finalist, seven-time champion here, the great Roger Federer. Roger, come on up here.
Thank you very much. Well, number one, congratulations, Novak, on writing history today. Amazing effort, not just this week, not just today, but your whole career. To get to this point is an amazing achievement. You should be very proud. Well done. I'd like to thank my team for always being with me. It's been a great week. Bit of rain, okay. It was tough on the players and everybody, but we had a fun time. I'd like to thank the tournament organizers. Andre, thank you for putting up a great event. I know it's been a big challenge for you this week, particularly with the rain, and thanks for the patience from the fans and everybody for waiting it out, and at the end, getting the sunshine for the final has been a wonderful treat, so thank you, everybody. Of course, I'd like to thank Western and Southern for their support for so many years now. Like you already said, Andrew, we couldn't do it without you guys, and I'd like to thank all the sponsors on our behalf, on the players, and what a beautiful new addition also this wing now. It's nice to see this tournament grow. It's one of my favorite tournaments to play throughout the years, so it's nice to be back again this year. Last not but least, because you want to hear Novak talk, he's the champ for today. I just had a great week. I just wanted to thank everybody, and just let you know it's been a treat to be back after missing it for 2 years. So I hope I see you again next year, and thanks everybody for coming out. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Roger. You know, as John Barrett mentioned, Novak, this is your 31st Masters 1000 trophy, and you are the first man on this planet to have won all 9 of the Masters 1000 tournaments. So may I now say to you, Novak Djokovic, get up here and get your Rookwood Championship trophy. John Barrett will proudly hand you that trophy that has eluded you for so many years, and now it is in your hands. And we will hear from our new champion, Novak Djokovic, right now.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. It's obviously a very special moment. It's the first time that I get to stand here with a winning trophy in Cincinnati. Played 5 finals before, and most of those finals I lost to this great man, Roger. And Roger, thank you for your kind words, and thank you for letting me win once here in Cincinnati. Obviously, was a tough match for him today. You know, he probably didn't feel his best, but he's a great champion, and you know, probably the best ever to play the game. So it's always a pleasure to share the court with you. I want to thank my team, my family back home who is not here with me, but they'll be with me soon in New York, and I want to share this special moment with them, and I want to thank them for their support, unconditional support in the hard times. I went through a little bit of a roller coaster ride in my career with injury and taking time off and having a surgery earlier this year. So this seems a bit unreal, to be honest, to be back at this level and winning Wimbledon and obviously Cincinnati for the first time. So thank you all for being here and supporting tennis throughout the entire week. And last but not least, I want to thank all the people who are part of this tournament. They make me feel welcome each year that I keep on coming back, and I missed it for a couple of years, but it was worthwhile of waiting and coming back, and definitely I'm looking forward to come back next year. I want to thank especially the volunteers at the volunteer desk in front. They're always super kind. Every morning they bring smiles and they bring good energy. So thank you guys for making this tournament special. Love it. Thanks.
I'll have you hold that trophy up, Novak, if I can get you to come and hold that trophy up. And may I present to you, everybody, your 2018 Western and Southern Open men's singles champion, Novak Djokovic.
Well, it's the last stamp in the passport, isn't it, of these 9 great stops. tournament we had on the ATP World Tour. They've been a little tight at the passport control desk, haven't they, for him over the years here?
Didn't want to give him that Cincy stamp.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we close our incredible week of tennis by honoring a very special member of the Western and Southern Open family. Elaine, where are you? Let's get Elaine Bruning out here. Come on out here, Elaine. Elaine, watch your step and come on up here. You are the VIP of the moment right now. So let me explain some stuff to all of you. For 42 years, she dedicated herself to this event. The fans and the volunteers were incredibly grateful for everything she has done for this tournament and our tennis community. It's time to honor former Western and Southern Open CEO, Elaine Bruning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it. And once again, joining us for this special presentation, Vice Chairman and Chief Legal and Media Officer of the ATP World Tour, Mark Young. Mark is here again. Chairman, President, and CEO of Western and Southern Financial Group, Mr. John Barrett. Chairman and President of the USTA, Katrina Adams. CEO of the WTA, Steve Simon. And representing the City of Mason, Mayor Victor Kidd. At this time, we direct your attention to the video boards.
Little did I dream that I would be here for 20 years and be able to know and talk to the people that I did. It's very different, and the changes you've made are awesome. And I hope your retirement is awesome, but take a lesson from Bob Wiley and learn to say no.
Elaine, from all the volunteers, we thank you for all your years of wonderful service and help to us.
Throughout the 20 years that I've been here, you always made it a pleasure to come, and it's just amazing to see what you and your team have turned this event into. We'll miss you. Enjoy your retirement.
Congratulations on your retirement, Elaine. It's definitely well earned. We've appreciated all your leadership and the vision that you've had for this tournament.
Very good luck to you in your retirement, and hope to see her in the future.
Congratulations. Thank you for doing everything that you did. In a few weeks, you'll wonder how you had time to work. And I hope you enjoy your retirement.
Congratulations, Elaine. Have a good retirement. We miss you.
Congratulations, Elaine, on your retirement. We're so excited for you, and you were such a great leader for the tournament. Your legacy will live on forever.
You know, I really miss you. We had some good times together. You were so good to our committee. We appreciate all that you've done for us.
You know, I travel all over the world for tennis, and I don't think I've ever met anybody as passionate and as dedicated and as loyal as you, Elaine, and I miss you already. I wish you the best of everything in your next chapter.
You made it possible for me to make a big difference for the Marshalls. It's a special place in my heart, and you have a special place in my heart. I miss you. I wish you all the best.
Congratulations, Elaine.
Congratulations, Elaine.
Congratulations, Elaine.
Congratulations, Elaine.
Congratulations, Elaine.
Congratulations, Elaine.
Congratulations, Elaine. Congratulations, Elaine.
Yeah, special presentation for Elaine Bruning, who after 42 years is calling it quits after working here. But of course, on court, the day belongs to Novak Djokovic and his wonderful victory that has completed the set of Masters 1000 titles, Robbie.
Yeah, it should be a pulsating Cincinnati 2018 there for him, but you know, that's number 23 on a hard court for Djokovic as far as Masters 1000 titles are concerned, so there's no question that on the surface he is one of the toughest, if not the toughest, to beat. Winning in Indian Wells and Miami hard courts there, and of course from Canada all the way home, it's pretty much all hard courts, Shanghai sometimes have the roof over, so it plays like an indoor court. And of course, Paris Bercy is an indoor hard court. He has been unstoppable on this particular surface, and it's got a nice ring to it when you're the first man on the planet to do it.
Yeah, he's won 19 of his last 21 matches as well, and here we are, a look at the Masters 1000 titles. Nadal, of course, edged ahead last week in Canada, but I just feel like over the last decade we've constantly been talking about how everyone's been chasing each other. These top three guys have just been constantly raising the bar, climbing the ladder week after week, Robbie.
Yeah, and then Novak gave them a little bit of leeway. He said, okay, I'll take 2 years off. You guys go and do your thing, and I'm going to come back and chase you. And that's what he's done. He's won Wimbledon. He's added to his Grand Slam tally. He's got 13 of those now, and of course now adding to his Masters 1000 tally, chasing down Federer and Nadal.
Pete Sampras was a pretty good player. He only won 11 of these. That gives you some context as to what we're talking about. There's the all-time leading title winners. Federer stays on 98. You'd have to think it's a matter of when rather than if he reaches three figures, though.
John McEnroe, everybody forgets what an unbelievable career J-Mac had. Nadal surpassed him. 3 past him now, and Novak will have him well within sight. It's been a fun week.
Hasn't it just? And let's take a look at the Masters 1000 winners this season. Of course, Juan Martín del Potro got his hands on a title at this level for the very first time in Indian Wells. He was pretty close to doing the Sunshine Double. Of course, ended up losing in the semi-finals. What a great week it was for John Isner as well. Reward for his good career.
Yes, we had a stretch there where we had a lot of first-time winners dating back to Madrid in 2017. And we saw Zverev win in Canada as well. But this year, Del Potro and Isner getting their hands on some silverware is so nice to see. But the big boys are back. Rafa and Rome in Toronto, and now Novak here taking the silverware home like it duty-free gifts from foreign airports.
Always good. Do hope you've enjoyed our coverage here from the Western and Southern Open. It's always a great stop on the ATP World Tour. From all of us here at ATP Media, it has been a history-making week in America's Midwest. Bye for now.
Cincinnati in America's Midwest will be our home for the next 7 days as the best in the world compete in the 7th Masters 1000 event of 2018.
Mr. Nonchalance.
You cannot be serious.
And that'll do it. It seals the deal for Luca Pouille.
Whoa!
Oh, what a get!
Oh, that is naughty.
Former world #1 posts the victory.
Roger Federer, a straight set win in front of fans that adore him. Oh, Hasse is on fire.
Stand and deliver.
Victory for Grigor Dimitrov in defense of his title from a year ago.
The maestro conducting another winner.
Elevation sensation.
That is brilliant.
Well, that one's left a vapor trail.
Del Potro finds his way to the last 8 in Cincinnati.
He got it. The dream is alive for Novak Djokovic.
Well, he's knocked the fluff off that one.
Federer moves into his 8th final in Cincinnati. Djokovic still seeking the title here, a 5-time finalist.
That is vintage Djokovic.
And what a brilliant exchange.
Oh, that is a howitzer.
History is made in Cincinnati.